ever heard of the tale of John Henry? He worked long ago on the railroads.
He was strong. He worked hard. He was the best railroad worker ever.
No one knows for sure if someone's ever over the John Henry.
But many songs tell of such a man. John Henry was born in the South. He was the biggest baby ever seen in those parts.
But one thing was even more amazing than his size.
John Henry was born with a hammer in his hand.
A 5-pound hammer.
That's what they say. John Henry only put his hammer down to eat.
For that, he needed 2 hands. That baby could.
He wasn't 5 many.
And that was just the first day.
Nobody can believe how much that baby.
One day, John Henry sat on his daddy's knee.
He had a hammer in his hand. He held up that hammer for his daddy to see.
He lifted it like it was a feather.
Then baby John said his first words.
He said, I'll die with a hammer in my hand.
John Henry's mama didn't like the sound of that, so she took the hammer away.
John Henry tried to play with other things.
But nothing was as good as his hammer.
That hammer felt like a part of him. He missed that hammer.
John Henry grew up to be a big, fine man.
Soon it was time for him to leave home. He needed to make his own ways now.
When he left, his daddy gave him something.
It was a hammer.
Now everything seemed right.
Soon John Henry found a wife. Her name was Lucy.
They were very happy together, but something wasn't right.
John Henry wanted something more.
He wanted to work with his hammer in his hand.
Then everything would seem right.
So John Henry and Lucy moved west.
One day they heard a sound. Shh, listen.
Ring, click, ring, click, ring, click. Right away, John Henry knew.
It was the sound of hammers hitting steel.
John Henry got a good feeling. Something felt just right.
John Henry hot-footed it right to the sound. He saw men making railroad tunnels through a mountain.
The men hit long steel spikes into the rock. They hammered the spikes into the rock.
Then they took the spikes out like dynamite things.
Little by little, blasted through the mountain.
The men were called steel drivers.
Before the day was done, John Henry had a job.
Steel driving was hard work.
But John Henry took it right away.
He could swing a 20-pound hammer.
He worked so fast, it sounded like church bells.
Clink, 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 clink. Soon he was the best steel driver ever.
Then one day, a man came to the camp with a funny-looking machine.
He said it was a steam. He said it could drill holes faster than 5 men.
But John Henry knew he would beat the steam drill.
So they set up a race.
Clink, ring, clink, ring. Clink, ring, clink, ring. John Henry's hammer rang.
The steam drill hissed.
Faster and faster they worked.
John Henry worked so fast that his hammer sounded like thunder.
At the end of the day, the race was over.
John Henry was right. He could beat a steam drill. His holes were bigger and deeper. The men all cheered.
John Henry was still the best.
But John Henry lay down tired to sleep.
And he died with a hammer in his hand.
He
Died with a hammer in his